This is the final movie for Word Chapter 1, Guided Project 1-2. We left off at, what step was I on? Sorry, I left off at step 8, so we're picking up at step 9. So it says select the first paragraph heading, online course, including the colon. So on this one, I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see. There isn't really anything I can do kind of magic. I just have to click and drag. Okay. So I want to make sure I have online course and that the colon is selected. Click the font launcher. We know that's this little box. So we know we're going to do something that is beyond what we can do on the ribbon. Change the font style to bold. Change the font color to that same blue-gray. See how we're getting kind of a theme going? So it looks consistent and professional. Click the small caps. We've done that before. And then we're going to apply the OK. So this online course should take on those characteristics. So right here is what we're seeing. So let's just double check. Small caps, bold, blue-gray. OK. And there it is. Okay. So now we're going to use the Format Painter to copy it. But look, we want to copy it to hybrid course, to television or teleweb, to web enhanced. So it's more than one place. So I'm going to select this. Really, I don't have to, I just have to select some of it. I really can select a single, because it's a font, I can just select one single character is fine. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to double click on the Format Painter. So it tells me to all the other paragraph. So hybrid course, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click and drag, including the colon. See, I still have my Format Painter because I did a double click when I selected it. I'm going to come over here and do television or teleweb course colon, and then web enhanced course colon. And I'm going to come back and make sure hybrid, television, web enhanced. I have all of those done. So I'm done with the Format Painter. I'm going to click that Format Paint off, and I have those all done. So now I'm going to correct the spelling and grammar in the document. So right click on the first misspelled word, management. So how would I know it's misspelled? Well, you want to look for the underlines. Red means misspelling. Blue is a grammar or word usage. So look, so like double underline, dotted underline, red underline. So you want to just make sure those all go away. So we're going to right click on management. Here's the correct spelling. I'm going to go ahead and select OK, or just click on the word. Potion, potion. So it's saying portion. Well, no. Some portion of the course, right? So it's telling me it's a possible word choice error versus the misspelling. And I evaluate this and no, potion is right. So I am going to ignore that. I want potion to remain and I want that line to be gone. Okay, so then I'm going to click ignore all. Okay, we did that. Okay, select the sentence. Okay, let's do, we're going to ignore that. So any other lines that you have, so I'm looking through, I've got all the colored underlines done. Select the sentence in the parentheses at the end of the document, including the parentheses. So right here is this note. So we're going to select that. Doesn't say whether or not to do the period, so I'm going to not do the period right now. We're going to use the Control I or the italic button. I usually just use this slanty I up here. It changes it to an italic style font. All right, use the Read Aloud feature. Place your insertion point at the beginning of the, I did that in the wrong spot. Place your insertion point at the beginning of the first body paragraph right here. Click the Read Aloud button in the Review tab, Speech Group. I'm going to go Review, and then I'm going to open this up. Oh, here's, you can see it, Read Aloud. I'm going to click on that.
SPCCD was a pioneer in online education and was one of the first community colleges in California to offer fully online courses in 1998. However, over the next...
Okay, so it's reading it back to me. I can use these buttons here at the top right to fast forward, to play, to go back, to change the settings. So right here, when I click play, it's going to change.
Few years there was limited.
And then it turns to so you can pause. We're going to click on the settings. And here you can see, you can set the reading speed. So it could go faster or slower. You can change who is reading it. We don't need that. So we're going to hit escape. We're going to click next to skip that paragraph.
Definition of online learning modalities. All online learning modes.
Stop. Okay. So I was not showing the whole screen. So right here, so if I'm playing,
Considered in the plan.
I can pause, and then the X gets me out of or stops the read aloud. Okay, so we got that done. Kind of cool. You can have it read to you to see if you have any typing, or if you're writing a paper, and if you read it back, sometimes it's like, oh, it's saying the wrong word, or that sentence is clunky, or whatever. It's nice to have that feature where you can listen to it and then try and refine your writing. All right, we're going to do one last thing, and that's add the document properties. Remember, that's in Backstage View. So we're going to do File, Info, and then over here on the right are the properties. And we want to go to Advanced Properties. Properties, Advanced Property. It's going to bring up this dialog box. We want to make sure we're on the Summary tab. In the title, we're going to type Online Learning Information. And then in the subject, we're going to type Online Learning. These are going to create meta tags so that you can search for these. The other thing is, when you have these properties, you can use them in the document. So like if you had a property that was your company's name, instead of always having to type the company, you can just use that property, that field, and it'll pull it. So we did that. We did that. Delete the existing author name. I don't have an author, so that's cool. And then type Tanisha Morris as the author. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And you see here we've got the items that we put in there. We want to go back to our document, so we're going to use this back arrow. We're going to save this document, and we can actually get out of it if we want. But we're going to come up here and I'm going to upload this file. This time, when I upload it, so when I go to select my file, one of the things that I always look at is this date and time. So I'm recording this movie on the 24th of June. It's on 2020 around 1:20. So this is the file I was working on, right? So you always want to just verify. The other thing you can always see too is the size of the file. So like if it's just like 0 or 1 or 2K, then you know that's like a blank file, right? You don't want that one. So those are a couple checks that you can do to make sure you're getting the right thing. The biggest thing is the timestamp. So I'm going to do OK. This time I am ready to submit the file. So I'm going to say yes. It's going to replace this one that I had out there with this new file. And it's going to go through, and I missed something. All right. So what did I miss? So I got 28 out of 29. Notice that it's showing me step 11. So if I click that down, oh, I read those instructions wrong. Potion should have been portion. You guys are all listening to this and probably thinking, no, you did it wrong. So that kind of worked out good because I want to show you how you can read these documents, right? So look at this. It says 11B. 11B. So if I go to my assignment and I go back into this instructions, right? So I just got back to the assignment. I can come down here to 11B. And I was supposed to change it, right? So that is how I can look up what that is. So then I can just go back to my document and find the word potion. So I'm going to do a Control F and say potion. There it is. And it's supposed to be portion. Okay? So I'm going to save that file again. So now that correction's made, I'm just going to make sure that file's saved. I'm going to come back to my SimNet. I'm going to upload my file again because, guys, look, if I do previous attempts, look, I get 3. So I had that one tiny error, but man, I want that 100. So I'm going to upload my file, find it, make sure it's the time, and that's the updated one. Open, submit the file for grade, and I better get 100 on this one. Yay! So I made use of the multiple submits to fix that error that I had in reading the instructions incorrectly, right? And that happens to all of us. And then I'm done with that assignment. And this grade then will get transferred from SimNet to Blackboard. All right, thank you.